everybody, and welcome back to the time of the Whovians United. Today we shall be reviewing episode 4, Nikola Tesla's Night of Terrors. Yes, a mouthful. Today, as usual, you've got me, Corey, George and Farren. But today, as usual again, we've got a new guest. So, mystery guest, reveal yourself.
Hello, I am Christopher from Dalam Reviews Who.
All right, so Christopher, would you like to say a little bit about your channel so people get to know you a bit, so they can check you out?
Yeah, on my channel, I just talk about Doctor Who. I'm reviewing Series 12. I've been reviewing classic Doctor Who for the past year. I'm working my way through all 26 seasons. I've just finished with Hartnell. And that's mainly all I talk about. I talk about a couple of other things too, but it's primarily a Doctor Who focused channel.
So you
Thank
guys, if you've not checked him out, go and check his channel out, because classic Who, that is amazing to have a lot of it on your channel. So anyway, we might as well. Hey, so anyway, we'll get straight into this review, starting with the initial thoughts. So Christopher, you're our guest. You can start.
All right, so I enjoyed this episode. It doesn't feel like it's a particularly special episode. It's definitely a bit of a filler episode comparable to the Witchfinders from last season, where you have a pretty interchangeable alien villain, but you have a sort of enjoyable backdrop of this historical time. And, it's fun. It doesn't really have much going for it. But I enjoyed it throughout, and I thought it was a good episode, even though it's probably my least favorite of this season.
Fair enough. Nicely well put. So, George, do you differ at all? Last week's review.
I was very nervous. Obviously, from that review, my opinion on Orphan 55 has been developing, and I would say it's very bad. But again, we leave that for the aftermath. We keep that for the aftermath. But this was surprising. I really enjoyed this episode. It was fun. It gets straight to it. Oh my god, I keep getting notifications. So yeah, 13 was surprisingly all right. The companions were good. The villain, the story, the concept was really good. I actually got involved with this Nikola character. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I just enjoyed it. Yeah, I can't say anything else. I mean, I need to rewatch it, but when I was halfway through, I was like, this was good. This is pretty good. And obviously, recently, I haven't really been feeling new Doctor Who. I feel like I was like almost feeling like I might give up with Doctor Who. So it was good.
All right, Farren, surprises. Do you feel any different?
Okay. I'm completely indifferent towards this story. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was awful. It was just sort of. It was like, yeah. I mean, I almost agree with Dalam, although it isn't my least favorite of the series so far. Definitely better than last week. Orphan 55 was utter crap, in my opinion. Please don't hate me if you like it. But this was a definite improvement on that. However, I just thought it was like there was nothing special going on really, and that was my main problem with it. There was nothing to get me like really truly invested in the story. Like you said earlier, there was a pretty interesting backdrop with the whole Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison. I really liked the whole. I really liked the time period and the setting of the episode. I thought that was probably the most interesting part. 13 as a whole is better because she's a lot darker in this episode, even though she still has her goofy moments. But yeah, it was all right. But I don't think it's going to be one to remember, in my opinion.
All right, okay, so my initial thoughts. Well, 4 out of 4, it could be positive, yeah. I pleasantly enjoyed that one. I actually really thoroughly enjoyed that all the way through. I can't say it was exciting as Spyfall Part 1, but I can't say it was the worst episode of the series so far. So yeah, really enjoyed it. Like the narrative between Edison and Tesla. I like that bit of history. Looking into that and looking at the key ideas of that time. The aliens themselves, the Skeefers, was interesting, and that whole idea of them being scavengers was pretty interesting. We'll get onto later on. But yeah, to sum up, real, I think, you know what? Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That it was a pleasant feeling to watch that and enjoy that. Wasn't exciting and explosive and absolutely amazing. Wasn't really bad. So I'm satisfied with that episode. So we'll move on to characters and villains.
All right, so I liked most of the characters that we have in here. The Doctor, I think, is really good in this one, and she has some really nice moments. Most of our companions are a little bit sidelined in this episode. They're fun, but they don't have a lot going for them, or a lot that they get to do because Nikola Tesla is in this episode so much. And I also really liked him. The villain, for me, is, as I said before, a little bit interchangeable, but I do like the moment that we get towards the end with her and 13. But on the whole, the villain didn't bring a ton to this episode, but I think the main highlight for me is 13. I'm really enjoying her, and I'm liking how the loss of Gallifrey is affecting her throughout this season to an extent.
Yeah, okay. George, what did you think?
I thought it was really good. So obviously, I love the dynamic between the Doctor and Nicola. Is that his name, right?
Yeah, Nicola.
It
Yeah,
is his
Nicola.
name.
I think
It
I
is.
said his name wrong the whole episode. Yeah, I like that. I felt a bit like moments of when the Doctor met what's his name, Charles Dickens, and also the moment when
Thomas,
and
Thomas
Charles
Edison.
Dickens.
Thomas Edison.
no, I mean from series 1.
Oh, all right. Sorry. Oh, I
thought
got.
you were
Oh, I
bloody
got
talking about Thomas
a big,
Edison. I was like,
a
what the
big
hell?
fan. The big fan moment sort of thing.
Yeah,
Right,
and I
got-
had a
with the
mixer
high
of
five.
Rosa as well.
Got yeah.
That's what I meant. That's that when
Got
so
ya.
when he met
Right,
him,
right.
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
It kind of felt a mixer of that, so I really liked that, and for the whole episode, and I was kind of shocked how obviously we haven't seen a big historical male person. It's all been female recently, so I like that. I like that. Also, I also like I think her name is Dorothy, Nicola's assistant. She's really nice and talked about her life of being the ties with Ryan. That was cute moments, nice moments. Graham was great. Talked about him as a bus driver. So I like bits of their actual old life is getting into their Doctor life. So that's really good. I think Ryan's a bit on the nose, but I felt like this was natural. The guy Thomas, yes.
Thomas Edison.
Yes,
Yeah.
Thomas Edison.
Edison.
Can I
Edison.
just say Thomas?
Yes, you
Why
may.
can't you just say Edison?
Edison,
It's not
yeah,
hard to say.
Edison.
There you go.
Edison. I felt like what he's been saying, what he said later on about stealing ideas, I felt that was like a contrast to the actual villain. So that was nice because they were stealing parts.
Oh yeah, I never thought about
Yeah,
that. That's-
It is
yeah.
true. Yeah, it is pretty true.
I
think,
like
about
that.
him. Yeah.
Actual creature, the queen. When she came in, I actually felt that Ratnos, like the movements and voice. I liked that when with her mouth, and it was great. It was obviously no reference. I was expecting like a sort of reference, like from Clom. No, we spit on them. Yeah, I thought that was.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
We need the Absorbaloff back.
yes, series 13 return.
Channel Pup. We need a sequel to Love and Monsters.
Oh, don't talk too much. Okay, that's me.
Nice one. Good to see some really good positives there, George. I'm surprised you didn't really mention Yaz at all. And we'll move on now.
Well,
Because she's
nobody ever
forgettable, no one
mentions
likes Yaz.
So I mean.
Yes, Farren.
he's-
On to you. On to you, Farren. On to you.
Okay, so starting off obviously with the Doctor 13. She's definitely better in this episode, like I said before. She's a bit more serious, and she doesn't follow up every dramatic line she says with a joke, unlike Series 11 and a bit of this series so far. I really liked her dynamic with Nikola Tesla. Like you said, there was a particular scene that stood out to me towards the beginning, where they're in his lab in New York and they're talking about what it's like to be the outcast, to be the one who's different, and the one with all the ideas that never gets recognized. I thought that was really cool, because if you know anything about the Doctor's childhood, you know that he wasn't like the smartest person on Gallifrey. At least that's sort of been mentioned a couple times. He was a bit like an outcast, and I was like, that's a really nice moment, and it almost got me thinking. Like towards the start of this episode, I was like, I bet they're gonna reveal that he's a Time Lord. He's been hidden with a chameleon arc or something. But no, they didn't go that route, which I'm kind of glad about, because like, yeah, that would have been a bit stupid. The villain. Oh God, I like the idea, the concept of an alien race that considers themselves superior, yet goes around stealing technology from other races. That's an interesting concept. However, the execution and the design of the villains themselves, it's just arachnos. They're just arachnos. And I was like, this is Doctor Who. This is one of the most creative shows on television. And you just ripped off a design from an an episode from 2006? Seriously? Is that the best you can do? But yeah, so I thought that was really stupid. Yes, the companions do get sidelined, especially Yaz. But then again, you could replace Yaz with a piece of paper, and I don't think anybody would notice. So yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the characters. Just to wrap up that.
Yeah, you know what? I could not agree more with all your points, to be honest. Yeah, I love the Doctor in this episode. Definitely kept serious, not like dead serious, but she was serious all the way through. Not much cringe this time, not too much silly. She was pretty normal, to be fair. Her scenes with Tesla was fantastic. You know, how they compare each other, how they're both very similar, and how she feels what he's feeling, and she can connect. I like that. I like Tesla. I like Edison as well because his character. I think they pretty much portrayed him well because
Yeah,
any
very
sign of
historically accurate with that.
any sign of any technology. Oh, can I take that? Can I buy that, please? Sort of thing. I want that.
Oh, I like
At
those
any
moments.
point,
Yeah.
any point in games like hands off it. It's not yours. Sort of thing. So even though he's a bit of a bad guy, I didn't really hate him, but I can see how they made him pretty historically accurate. Yeah, the ski throw, you can see how similar they are to the to the Rachnos, to the movements, to the voice, the way she says her words. It's very very similar. You could say it's a rip off, but yeah, I thought it was a decent villain, to be honest. Yeah, it was all right. Nothing like yeah, it was very. I can say it's probably pretty much summed up as pretty similar to the Rachnos. Nothing amazing. Designs were okay. I think I was probably more impressed with the actual skifer being able to change their appearance, and that sort of design looked quite creepy. Looked quite interesting with the CGI. As people, I did like the idea of them being scavengers and stealing other people's things. But what I did like was the parallels where you've got the Doctor and Tesla and Edison and the Skifer. They're both quite similar. Those things are quite connected, so that was pretty good. Companions, I enjoyed. Yeah, Ryan and Graham. Graham yet again with his one-liners. Nothing really cringy this week. Just his typical funny one-liners. Ryan did okay. Yaz did what Yaz normally does.
Stand there and be like, "Oh, Doctor."
Yeah, but yeah, overall enjoyed it, to be honest. Nothing spectacular, but pretty much enjoyed it. So yeah, we'll move on to the random section. So Christopher, so yeah, anything else you want to mention? Any scenes, music, cinematography, moments, anything else you want to highlight? Starting with you.
All right. So I think my main highlight from this episode was towards the end when the Doctor was confronting the main villain. Do any of you know the name of the main villain? I don't remember.
The Chiefra? Something?
Skiefra. Yeah,
Skeefra.
Yeah, that sounds
Right.
right. The
Yeah,
Skifra.
Skiefra. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Okay. All right. So when she's confronting the Skifra, then there's just kind of this moment where she's really taking command of the whole situation, and she really feels like the Doctor, and it's highlighting a different aspect of her character than we often see, because a lot of the time she is very lighthearted and she is very fun, and here we saw her being a little bit more dark and actually dealing with this threat that they have to deal with in a really neat way, I think.
Yeah, that is understandable. I think. Yeah, that's fine. So, George, any more things to add that you've not said so far?
I don't have much. I just want to say two things: is that we actually don't. We get introduced to the Doctor companions, not like oh, in the TARDIS, let's go somewhere, or at the very end when they're like, okay, job done, let's go, and then boom, the TARDIS. Like, we actually don't see them going in TARDIS, leaving, or even starting. I like how they get.
yeah, I really like that as well.
Yeah, apart from that, like when you went to the random section, I completely forgot everything. So I had to go on BBC iPlayer to remember things. But the CGI, I remember we had a conversation about CGI, especially as I
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
and I actually liked the CGI, the design of the Scorpions when they were like climbing on walls. I think I had a weird feeling that Farren would hate that, but yeah, I like it. So yeah.
I didn't hate that. I'll talk more about it in a second, but yeah.
So that's everything I want to say. The music was
Go
good.
on. Go on then, Farren. So what have you got to say on that matter then? What would you say?
Well, in terms of the CGI, I quite liked it. I mean, there was the bit at the start where obviously like the guy came out and then the camera turned and all you could see was the shadow. And I turned to the rest of my family. I was like, so did they not just have the VFX budget for this? But no, they did, because they animated the scorpions towards the end, and yeah, they look pretty good on a BBC shoestring budget, of course. But yeah, anyway, this is getting in the way of my random thoughts. But the main thing I want to talk about is the music, because the music in this episode was really good. Obviously, Siga Nikola has proved himself to be an amazing composer. He proved that with Series 11, but I felt like this series. So much so that I thought it was a different composer, because I'd heard somewhere from an unreliable source that it was a different composer. So thanks, unreliable source. Sorry about that. But yeah, Spyfall Part 1, Siga Nikola's music was a bit, ooh, what's this? And then it's definitely gone uphill, and to the point where tonight I thought that it was really, really good. So yeah, that's all really like that I have to say. Apart from like the little character moments like that I also liked with them like slowly discovering everything that Nikola Tesla is responsible for. I actually quite like those realizations, because me as an audience member, I don't know that much about Nikola Tesla, so I was learning these things with them, and I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty interesting. And I was like learning, and it was almost like I was watching an early William Hartnell story, where like, because that was obviously the aim of Doctor Who, to educate children on science and history, and I really like that they're sort of bringing these aspects back, because you can argue that in recent years Doctor Who has sort of lost that, and that's one of the reasons why I like that moment in World of Time where he explains the gravity and the time difference. That's really cool. So yeah, more of that please. But yeah, those are my random thoughts.
Yeah, for me, I want to highlight again the cold open again. I think I don't think it's staying, because ever since ever since Orphan 55, we've had a cold open.
Yeah, the thing about that is that like I thought that there were scenes like at the beginning of this episode, and there were moments where I was like, that's where the title sequence could fit into the episode.
Could have been.
Yeah,
but,
and it's just a bit annoying.
Yeah, I know. I like the start, how they obviously highlighted Tesla in his work and set up the scene. They could have started off with the Doctor in the TARDIS and going off to wherever they were going, but I liked how they started off at that point on Tesla, and it helped the story, because we kind of got the plot from the start woven in through the beginning. We knew it was about Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla and their competition with each other, creating different things, and that obviously we knew that was what was running through all the way. So from the start, that was good. Music, like you, I really like the music, because when the skier was there, it was really weird music. But when I think about it, Nikola Tesla's Night, of Terrors, like this is it's just weird, and it just kind of.
It was almost like something you'd hear in classic Who.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's very weird and very. Yeah, that's what I liked about it, because they are weird, the skier, So I like the music. So yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, there's not really much more to add. Yeah.
I actually, something that came to mind, actually.
Go for it. Yeah, go for it. Add it in.
When you find out everybody, the cast saying the monsters from last week was the scariest or creepiest, I would say the design, obviously the people that's like kind of shapeshift, those versions of them, not the scorpions. I would say that's more frightening than those creatures from last week, because the last week was just funny and comedic. So yeah.
But nothing will frighten me more than Sacha Dhawan's master.
when he strangled the Doctor.
Yes.
God, he's so good. He's such a good master.
Okay.
Anyway.
I just thought of it in a moment. Sorry, yes, I had another, and I've remembered it. I liked how this week, how the Doctor didn't just stop the villain straight away and go, "Ha, goodbye, you're finished," because they tried
like
it.
In the Witchfinder.
The plan failed. Yeah, the plan failed, and the Queen was like, "Ha, you failed. You failed, love. What are you gonna do now?" And they were both literally. You were saying like she was like the Doctor. They're both combating with their intelligence and their presence. Who's gonna win? Who's the most dominant in this room? And you can see them both working each other, trying to think, who can try and beat each other in this room. And obviously, Jodie won. But I loved that how she didn't win first time. I loved how it failed, because it shows how much she had to rethink her plan to save the day. Because obviously, if she couldn't think of the plan, they've all died, and it whatever. So how quickly she fought on her feet to try and win the room, have her presence, and defeat the Skifa like that was pretty genius, to be fair. So yeah, we'll move on to our favourite, and hopefully your favourite at home's part of the review. So
Here it
guys,
is.
it is time for the cringe, of the week.
That was
Yay.
better. That was better.
You know what?
That was better.
I think we should. I don't think it should be coordinated. I think it should be, because it's cringy, it should be uncoordinated like that. Because so far it's been me saying it and you guys steadily coming in. I think it should stay like that. It should be uncoordinated because the cringy moments are.
Nothing pleases you,
weird.
Corey. Okay, just come on.
No, but I like
That's
that.
why
no, I
it's
liked
called
it. Was
the
like,
cringe of the week.
Cringe
Because it's
of the week.
cringy. Get it? God.
I think no,
Oh,
we should
God.
keep with the uncoordinated cringe
Yeah.
of the week. That
Anyway.
works
Right.
better anyway. So, starting with you, Christopher, any standout moments for you that was cringy at all?
I have to be honest, there weren't any. There was no moments where I thought where I cringed or thought, "Oh, this is awkward" or anything like that.
Okay.
That's not really helpful for this segment, but I
Yeah,
just
It's fair
didn't
enough. It's
have
a fair
any.
opinion, isn't it? Yeah, it's a fair opinion, yeah.
Um,
All right, then, George. Okay.
I have to say the same, but there was one moment. I wouldn't say it was cringy. It was just something that was a bit odd. So I completely agree. I can't think of anything, but I actually screenshotted on subtitles. So I remember the exact quote what she said. So obviously it's when the doctor meets Nikola. So she says, "We're not letting you out of our sight until we work."
Okay.
I'm really serious, and then boom. So where's this lab then? Oh my god, I gotta see your lab. Like, you serious?
I knew it would be followed by a joke because that's typical Jodie dialogue.
Yeah. Okay.
That was me.
All right, then, Farren. Anything different to add to the cringe of the
God,
week?
I've forgotten. What was it? I had one. And it was,
Remember,
oh,
come on,
God.
remember.
Oh, no, yeah, there it is. Okay, this isn't necessarily cringy, but it's just really stupid. Basically, like, you know how, like, the Skifra bloody thing could, like, shoot lasers out of her tail or whatever?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
she's literally with the doctor. And
She
it's in that
couldn't.
scene where, like you could have shot her in the face. Like, there is no reason for
Yeah.
you to not shoot the doctor right
I know.
now. Like, and it was just really stupid. Like, they established she could do it. Oh, look, she's so threatening. And then it's like, oh no, well, she doesn't shoot the doctor because we need to further the plot. It's so stupid. But yeah. Anyway.
Okay. All right, I've got something different. I don't know if it's cringy. I thought it was funny, to be honest.
Is it as cringy as Benny?
No. It's just when the Scorpion, when they're all running down that street and they're all just falling up, they're all chasing after them that excitedly. They're all just falling over each other. They're crashing into things, falling over each other, you know. If you want to kill somebody, at least be coordinated. But they're all just running through
I don't
the
know.
street.
I quite like how like uncoordinated they are.
Yeah, it was. That's the thing. It was a good scene, but it was just funny how they're all falling
Especially
over
like
each other.
I think that one shot that was in the trailer actually, where they just like
Yeah.
one of them comes like racing around the corner and it like smashes into this car. Although that did lead to another cringy moment that I just
Yeah.
remembered, where Yaz, she's seen these big scorpion monsters. Oh no! How are we gonna stop this? She knocks over a cart that's like
yes,
2
yes.
inches. Oh, that's
Yes.
gonna do it. It's not like they could literally like walk over that. Well done, Yaz. You're the best
Yeah.
companion ever.
I just thought
Well
it was
done.
just very. I just thought it was very comical.
I mean,
how they were
Sarah
falling over
Jane,
each
who?
other.
Oh, Yaz. Oh, freaking yes.
But yeah, I thought it was just
You
very
know what? I
comical how
take
they were
back
all
what I
falling
said.
over each other. Go on. Yes, go on.
I take back what I said earlier. That was actually the one moment when Yaz knocked that over. I was like, why did you do that?
Yeah,
that was
it's
the one
so
moment in the episode that
stupid.
took me
There
out
was
of
no
it.
need. There was
Yeah.
no point. It had no effect
so
at all. But yeah, that for me
stupid.
was a comical moment. It was just a bit funny to watch. So then, the most important part of this review. So Christopher, I'm going to ask you a very important question. Fail or no fail? That is the question. Did this episode fail in your eyes?
It did not. I don't think it failed at all. I think it's a really enjoyable episode. It's fun, and it's definitely not going to be one of the ones that I remember from 13's era, but I thought it was pretty good, and I really like the stuff with Nikola Tesla and the Doctor, and I think this episode manages to stand on its own a little bit. And no, I don't think it failed.
All right then, George, fail or no fail?
It did not fail. I think it was I won't say success. I say it was a pass. I would say it was a pass. I really enjoyed it. It depends on the second watch, but yeah, it was good.
So we've got 2 no fails. Farren, fail or no fail?
Okay, this was actually something that I was thinking about during the episode, and to me, yes, this story is going to be incredibly forgettable. I doubt I'm going to remember most of it by tomorrow. But and yes, like the villains were just a rip off of the Rachnos, but there were moments. It's a good enough episode for me to say that it did not fail. I think that the setting and some of the characters saved this episode from being just extremely boring. And yeah, I probably won't remember most of this episode, but like, it's definitely not terrible. It's like, it's very sort of subpar. It's average for me. It's sort of like The Curse of the Black Spot. It's not something that I would go back and rewatch, but I remember it as being pretty good. It's all right. So yeah.
So guys, you heard it here first. That is 3 no fails, becoming a 4. For me, it did not fail. I really, really enjoyed it. The every element of this episode I really, really liked. There's nothing like terribly bad about it. Nothing absolutely amazing and terrific. But yes, it is passed. It did not fail because I enjoyed it that much. So there we go.
I can't believe this is the first full pure success.
Full pure success is the first 4 out of 4 so far
Is
of the
it?
series.
Yeah,
It is the first 4 out of 4 because
Wow.
because there were 3 no fails in part 1 of Skyfall. You said it failed. Part 2, can't remember what it was. Well, last week it was definitely, yeah. So yeah, but this is definitely the full 4 yeses on a did not fail. Well, there you go, guys.
Let's hope that continues.
There you go. Yeah, there you go, guys. Nikola Tesla's Night of Terrors. Got it. Did not fail. So, what did you guys think? Let us know down in the comments below. If you agree or disagree, let us know and give us your thoughts. Also, have a nice discussion about it because that is the best thing about Doctor Who, having a great, friendly discussion. Also, if you like this video, go and give it a like. But before you go, please go and check out Christopher's channel, Dalam Reviews Who. Great channel, involves classic Who, absolutely amazing. So, guys, please watch that. Can we please all have a thank you very much, Christopher? Thank you for
Thank you
joining
very
us
much.
and being a part of this review.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it.
Yes, it was really good to have you. Some really good points, really good thoughts, and really good on this review. So there you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you've not seen any of the other reviews, go and watch them now. They've all been pretty fun to watch to film so far. Hopefully that trend will continue. And if you've not subscribed yet to our channel and like our videos, go and do it. We're now getting a bit closer to 750, almost up to 800. So if you're at home, you've not yet subscribed and you like it, go and subscribe to us right now. There you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We shall see you next time. See ya.